The next presenter is from BHP Nickel West, Chris Stone, General Manager, Northern Operations, NPI and Exploration.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks, Dan. You didn't steal too much of my thunder, but the words that resonated with me, like Dan said, a miner at heart. So I am a miner at heart, and some of the slides Dan showed, really exciting to see Odysseus come along. My name's Chris Stone, and I'm the General Manager for Nickel West Northern Operations. It's a pleasure to be here today. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners on whose lands we are today, the Noongar Whadjuk, but also I'd like to recognise the traditional owners on the lands in which we operate in the Northern Operations, the Trawal, and pay respect to all elders present, past and emerging. With regards to the Trawal, I'm also pleased to say we have 40 members of that community working in our operations now. It's been one of the highlights of my career to work with the community through developing a work-ready program and placing those people into our workforce. It's changed the lives of many of those community members, and it's extremely exciting to see how that has a resonating effect through their community. On the screen behind me, you will see a photo of Ashley and Tina from Leinster Underground Mine. Another thing I'm very proud of is the increase in the number of women we have in the underground mining. There's 50% of our nippers underground are female, and 23% of the workforce in whole is female. A great change in the last few years. So the diversity gains we're seeing in the Northern Operations and across Nickel West have been really rewarding and supported by everyone in our business. Before I go on, usual disclaimer, which relates to any forward-looking statements. The mineral resources statement is actually in the back of my pack. I'd like to start by sharing a little about what makes Nickel West unique and the preferred supplier for customers like Tesla, Toyota and Panasonic. You might have seen, and Dan mentioned it, our new nickel supply agreement and green ecosystem partnership with PPES, a Panasonic Toyota JV, and recently the deal with Tesla in July. Our customers are increasing their demand for clean nickel and a clean supply chain. And Nickel West is able to meet this demand by being one of the most sustainable producers in the world. We have made huge inroads on the sustainable production of nickel with some quite significant power purchase agreements and plans in place to decarbonise. In the Northern Operations, where our mines and 2 of our 3 concentrators are located, we're working with TransAlta to build solar farms at both Mount Keith and Leinster. This is the first large-scale on-site solar farm and battery storage facility that BHP has commissioned at any of its global operations. Construction will commence in the next 3 months and is expected to take up to 14 months. So that's very exciting for all of us. In the Southern Network, Bill also touched on this, we have also extended our power purchase agreement with the Merredin Solar Farm in the Wheatbelt region. Merredin is a 100 megawatt solar farm and Western Australia's largest. Nickel West has increased its offtake with the Merredin solar farm from 20 to 50 megawatt, which will reduce emissions from the Kalgoorlie nickel smelter by around 30%. In addition to securing solar power, Nickel West is actively looking at wind opportunities. We're looking at both the southwest of the state, which would address our remaining electricity emissions at Kwinana and Kalgoorlie, and we're also looking with TransAlta to study a number of locations in the northern goldfields. We've identified several attractive locations. Our early estimations are that a 40 to 50 megawatt wind farm would reduce the Northern Operations emissions by another 30%. We've also embarked on the electric vehicle journey for our underground operations, working with Toyota with an OEM electric four-wheel drive at the Cliffs Underground Mine. We've also recently purchased an electric Normet charge wagon, which is due to be delivered soon. These are 2 important steps in the right direction to reduce diesel emissions underground for the safety of our people, as well as the environment. Demand for nickel batteries is estimated to grow by 500% by 2030, in large part to support the world's rising demand for electric vehicles. Many governments are committed to decarbonising their economies more rapidly and making it very clear that there will be an end date for combustion engines. And manufacturers are investing in EV production lines more than ever before. To meet the anticipated surge in demand for nickel, we're focused on increasing our resource base. You can see the substantial uplift on this graph here. Last year, we announced the acquisition of Honeymoon Well and Albion Downs, a great set of tenements located just north of Mount Keith, which this year has been converted to 1.2 million tonnes of resource in our portfolio. Nickel West holds a tenement portfolio covering almost 120,000 hectares of some of the most endowed terrain for komatiite-hosted nickel sulphides in the world. From 2017 to 2020, most of our drilling was focused on resource to reserve conversions, playing catch up after a 3-year hiatus of doing not much drilling at all, to reduce the uncertainty around the resource while mining. Exploration is a key focus for us, and we believe the Agnew-Wiluna Belt holds a large potential there. Here you can see a portion of the Agnew-Wiluna Belt, our tenement holdings north of Mount Keith. The deposits we acquired last year with Albion Downs and Honeymoon Well are shown on this map. Wedgetail contains massive sulphide mineralisation and will quite possibly be our first development. While no decisions have been made or applications sought, the preferred mining method at this stage would be an underground option with portal entry. We've begun engaging with the Wiluna and Talpa native title holders. We hope to build a positive and supportive relationship like we have with their neighbours, the Choual. We've also begun drilling further south, down at Albion Downs, between West Jordan and Jericho, to assess options on these deposits. To help meet the increase in demand for high quality Class 1 nickel, our operations at Mount Keith are set to grow. We're looking to expand the Mount Keith concentrator by installing a 16 megawatt SAG mill and modernising the flotation circuit, pending final approvals. The SAG has been ordered as a pre-commitment before expected execution approval at the end of the financial year. The other area we're looking at is flotation technology, which has materially improved and advanced since the Mount Keith plant was built in 1992. This will help us improve metallurgical recoveries from the Mount Keith and Yakabindi ores. We've also the expansion of the Mount Keith concentrator is possible because our Mount Keith satellite development, also known as Yakabindi, is now at full production rates. We've also restarted, on top of Yakabindi, the mining operations in our long-standing Mount Keith open pit. These activities have resulted in a 50% increase in mining activity from this financial year. We've purchased new Liebherr 9600 and 9400 excavators to support this additional need. To the south, the Leinster concentrator has been realising record production rates, requiring increased mining activities to fill capacity. These increased production rates have driven more focus on extending the life of Cliffs Underground, and we're developing a new roadway to support mining and exploration activities. Now, an update on the underground mines at Leinster. Venus and B11, two of our recent new mines. Firstly, Venus, which is now in full production with a nameplate capacity of 700,000 tonnes per annum. Operations in Venus are 800 metres below surface at present, and we've encountered squeezing ground and seismicity, which this area is well known for. But with the history and strong experience base of the mine personnel, this has been overcome and managed well. Caving above the deposit is progressing well and as expected, and is being monitored by holes from surface. The next milestone is breaking through the decline access from the bottom, enabling dual access to all workings. Venus has around 200,000 tonnes of nickel tonnes in reported resource, with great potential for more. Our ore tonnes per vertical metre increase with depth. You can see that in the orange where it widens out as we go deeper. That means Venus has less development intensity and upside for potential production rates. Secondly, B11. B11 is named for below 11 level, which is the base of the shaft at Perseverance. B11's been receiving a lot of interest lately. It's the first block cave to be developed by BHP. We call it a baby block cave. At the end, it will have 26 drawbells in place. B11 is located beneath the Perseverance sublevel cave. Development continues to proceed in line with expectations. Both the undercut and extraction level phases are underway, and ores being hoisted to the Leinster concentrator. The undercut and the completion of the drawbells and draw points is expected by the end of next calendar year. It is going well, but admittedly slower than expected. Ground conditions have been challenging, but the discipline being followed in our ground control is holding us in good stead. It's well known our Kalgoorlie nickel smelter was developed for Kambalda style concentrates, whereas Mount Keith concentrate has much lower iron MgOs. The furnace rebuild planned for July 2025 is an important opportunity to unlock a future where the iron MgO of our equity concentrates does not constrain our business and enables a BHP scale future focused asset. To support this, we've been busy completing concept studies on a wide variety of technology options, including top submerged lance, Don flash, electric smelting, and evolved versions of the current furnace. Pilot testing is underway. Meanwhile, we are looking forward to Mincor's restart next year, a Kambalda style concentrate for our smelter blend. Last week, as Bill referred to in his opening address, we announced an incredibly exciting milestone with our first nickel sulphate crystals at Kwinana. BHP is one of the world's leading nickel powder producers, and nickel powder is one of the lowest cost means of producing nickel sulphate. We are now officially in stage 5 commissioning, ramp-up phase, and we're working with our customers to qualify our new product in their batteries materials operations. When the nickel sulphate plant is fully operational, it will produce over 100,000 nickel tonnes in nickel sulphate. 100,000 tonnes per annum of nickel sulphate. Not that many nickel tonnes in there, unfortunately. That is enough to make 700,000 batteries for electric vehicles. A great outcome from this plant is that it's an Australian first, designed and built using Western Australia's world-class technical expertise and know-how. So to wrap up, over the last 5 years, Nickel West has been very successfully repositioned itself for the future. Electric car makers like Tesla and Toyota value sustainable miners, and we're meeting the demands for their clean nickel. What you can see throughout this presentation is elements of innovation, opportunity, and delivery. We are innovative and modernising our concentrators and smelter. We are creating opportunities with an extensive exploration program that is realising the full potential of the Agnew-Wiluna belt and new deposits to progress from there. We've developed new mines at both Mount Keith and Leinster in the last couple of years. We have positioned ourselves for the future, and we are laying the foundations to create a sustainable business of scale. Nickel West's future is very positive, and the opportunity to grow is real as demand for future-facing commodities grow. Thank you for your time today.